Kenya, girl, you see what happens when you're busy minding everybody else's business? You get blindsided by your own business. Girl, let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 13, Episode 11. So let's get into it. So we open up the episode with day 4 in South Carolina. And we open up with Portia saying, I'm just not in a praying mood when they're getting ready to eat their seafood boil. So Cynthia kindly takes the lead on the prayer, and they pray and they get started eating. And everybody's pleased with the food. So everybody's saying, you know, Latoya, you did a pretty good job to say you've never done this before. I think it's because Marlo helped, but we'll give her this one. Good job, girl. So somehow they get on the topic of learning about each other, I guess. And Cynthia, well, not learning about each other, learning about themselves. And Cynthia says she learned a lot about herself this weekend, and to the point where she wrote these things down. Like, she's learning things about her sexuality, and she got it written down on a folded up piece of paper in her pocket. But, you know, she had a great time at the bachelorette party, and that's all that matters. She's the bride, it's her bachelorette party. I'm glad she learned something about herself, and she had a great time. 2 birds with 1 stone. Perfect. So somehow, I don't know if I missed it, but somehow Latoya makes a shady comment to Drew about she doesn't know why a married woman would be all on Bolo like she was. And I think Drew handled it very well. She's like, what is this about, biggest fan? Like, come on now, you can't be throwing accusations like that out about me. Like, what's really going on? I'm a married woman. We all had a great time. We all participated in the fun. So what is the problem? And when they say that, everybody had a great time and everybody participated, just like she directed it to Kenya and said, you know, you had a great time as well, and you keep harping on this issue. Nobody said anything to you when you were on the floor with your legs bust wide open. And Bravo with their replay of her opening her legs and the door creaks down. Oh my God. Everybody pretty much at this point, it opens the door for everybody to discuss how aggravated they are with Kenya that she is constantly bringing this thing up about who in the house was sleeping with the stripper. And I would agree, I would be extremely annoyed as well. Even if I didn't take part in anything, it's obvious that they didn't want this to be something that was a televised event, because they made sure the producers left, they made sure the cameras were gone, they made sure the microphones were taken off, and they also covered all the microphones in the they covered all the cameras in the house so nobody can see what was happening. So obviously they planned for inappropriate things to happen. And the fact that you participated in the event and then still decided you're going to air out everybody's dirty laundry was super annoying. However, if you're gonna do something like this with somebody that's not your biggest fan or your friend, like, as a woman, if I was going out to a bachelorette party doing a bunch of stuff that I had no business, there is no way I would go with anybody that I was not certain was somebody that was my friend and that I could trust. So for them to get mad at Kenya, I mean, Kenya is Kenya. Like, why would you think Kenya would be able to hold ice water? She can't. She needs the drama. She lives for it. I'm sure the producers were pushing her to push the issue. So this is Bravo as well. They're going to do anything to get viewers. So I don't understand why they felt like this was actually going to end up being a private event. If it was going to be that private, Candy would have gotten NDAs and everybody would have been signing them. There's no reason for you to think that on a nationally televised stage, you are going to get away with doing something like this unscathed. You know what I mean? You got a different opinion, let me know, because I'm open to hear them. So Kenya's trying to defend herself, and then they're just having, Kenya's basically saying like, I know it wasn't, it was in this particular room in the house, or this particular area in the house. And the only room down there was Portia's. And I love how Portia played it off in that she wasn't even like taking the bait on anything, but it's like she was basically saying who it was without saying who it was. So Portia was just like, listen, she about to say who it is. This is all part of her plan. This is how she does things. I see it, I'm tracking it. Just hold on, watch. She's gonna say it at some point. It's gonna be revealed, just wait on it. Eventually she alludes to it being Portia as the person. But remember, she has also said she does not know who the other woman was that was supposedly or allegedly in the room with Portia and Bolo. And Tanya, she just decides to say, well, I wasn't. You know how she talks. Tanya was like, well, I spent the night in this woman's room. I'm just like, girl, the girl just said there was a threesome with the stripper. Why would you? Nobody else has said they were in anybody else's room for the night. Why would you say to this woman, you know this woman needs, like, I see that Tanya is also not the brightest crayon in the box, but you did it to yourself, girl. I don't know what to tell you. I love that in Candy's confessional, she's like, Tanya. So Portia eventually gets frustrated. Well, you can see Portia, as soon as Tanya said where she was, Portia's just looking like, nah, girl, why would you? Portia at this point is completely frustrated, and she leaves and she goes back into the house and she just says, I'm over the dinner, which I hate because it's, Portia has no reason to be, like, she has no reason to hide what happened. Maybe, I guess, maybe it's like a social stigma or something. I don't know, but it's not necessary. She's not married to anybody. She's not currently dating Dennis. And you know, I'm tired of Dennis. I'm tired of hearing about him. But she's not dating anybody. She's single. That's what she wants to do. Who cares? Kenya is giving major auntie vibes. Everybody is sick of it because she's killing everybody's high at this point, and she doesn't even see how annoying she's being. I mean, even LaToya called her out at the table and she was like, do you have a problem with it? I mean, she should have just said, yeah, I do, because I was participating in the festivities too and I had a great time. I just don't understand the issue, because Portia and Tanya are grown and they can do whatever the heck they want to do with themselves, with their bodies, whatever. Like, these are grown women. This is not the 1920s. Get over yourself. Tanya's in a relationship that she, I guess, I don't know for sure, but I would say maybe is in a good place. And I just feel like, I don't know that Kenya enjoys the fact that other people have good things going on in their relationships and hers is sinking. I mean, it sucks for her. Like, I feel for her in that, but I mean, why are you trying to tear down somebody else's relationship? You want them to be going through the same thing that you're going through? I feel like misery loves company. I know Tanya's not married, but I know they have the whole life partner thing going on. But, you know, I don't know why she felt the need to do that. That was crappy, but Tanya did it to herself, honestly. You know, Tanya did that to herself. The next day, well, I don't know if it's the next day, but we fast forward to when the women are back home. Drew is unpacking her home and it is absolutely beautiful. I'm happy for her. Like I said in the previous video, I wouldn't have had dinner with them coming over to my house until after I moved into the new home, because that home is everything. So Ralph wants to talk about the bachelorette party and the whole trip and what happened and whatever. And basically they're bouncing around from household to household with people talking about what happened on the party. So Cynthia's talking about her dress fitting. She's telling Mike about the bachelorette party and how wild it got. And Mike is just like, what? Y'all did all this? But he's not the jealous type. Like you can tell he was just like, well, you had a great time. I'm glad. And they just leave it at that. They're talking and laughing, and it's a great conversation, which is awesome. I'm glad, you know, some men are able to do that. I feel like if I were to go somewhere, a bachelorette party or something, over the weekend and be like, it was wild, he would be like, well, I'm glad you had a great time. Like, it's great that men are not always so insecure about things. It's great when you're able to talk to your spouse and they're not right off the bat insecure about things. They're happy that you enjoyed yourself. They are secure in themselves and knowing, like, you know, I know my spouse, they had a good time. I know they didn't cross any boundaries, and we just gonna leave it at that. Andy is telling Don Juan all the deets about everything because he says, you know, I heard he never made it to the hotel and blah, blah, blah. And of course she's not telling the producers what happened, but she's telling Don Juan. So what is the point of saying that you're not gonna give any details? Because you don't want to rat anybody out, you don't want to tell on anybody, but 2 scenes later you're, I don't know. I mean, at this point everything's been aired out, so it don't even matter. I guess she felt like, Kenya just telling it all, so I might as well just say something. So Ralph is hearing more about what happened at the party, and you know, his face is like, okay. Like, it's almost like he's just like cringing, listening to what went on. Drew is having a great time. She is just like, yeah, we did this, he flipped me over, he did that, and he's just looking like, it was funny because she was like, he was like, he put it on you? Like, he was just like, you could tell, like, it was really like seeping in and he was about to get mad. You know, he's really bothered and he wants to know more details. And Drew is like, oh, you want to know what I was doing while I was out of town? Huh, that's odd. Because I asked you about Tampa and you won't tell me anything. At least he knew she was going out of town for a bachelorette party. She didn't know he was going anywhere, so at least you got that much information. More information than her. So after she throws Tampa and not knowing much about that situation in his face, then he's getting mad and he says, the details you want are stupid. Like, are we in kindergarten? Did we travel back in time? Sir, what is your problem? Like, he's back to being exhausting. So he knew that trip was coming up. He was real nice because he knew he was gonna get a little break from, you know, having her in the house. And he was just being real friendly. Like, I was wondering why the last few episodes he'd been real nice. But I see now he's back to his old ways, and now he's saying the stuff that she wants is stupid and he shouldn't have to tell her. I went to a hotel. That's how I said it, a hotel. All right, next scene. So Kenya is doing a photo shoot for Alpha magazine and she looks great. She looks like she's lost a lot of weight. Kudos to her, I know that's difficult. So LaToya shows up and brings cake, which is weird because I thought LaToya was starting to see through a lot of Kenya's mess. And I was almost hoping she would be able to bring the issues to her as a friend and be like, hey, so this stuff that you're doing, like, this is annoying. And even me, your girl crush, is getting annoyed. But anyways, we're gonna get to that. Kenya says that she should smash the cake in LaToya's face because of how she acted when they were at the table and how she was siding with the opposing side. LaToya is just like, you know, I was just feeling some type of way about what happened. And then Kenya was just basically saying like, hey, you're somebody that shows me attention, that is sweet to me, and I have a girl crush on you. And I'm like, this is getting like to be a lot with Kenya. Don't want her to go because I think Kenya is interesting. I think she brings a lot to the show. I love seeing her. I like seeing her, but this is just, at this point it's getting annoying. Like, I'm tired. So now LaToya is her girl crush, and LaToya apologizes, and it's just, it's annoying. She's just mad that at the first chance she got, she ran straight to Portia, and maybe Kenya wanted to dip her foot in the lady pool. I don't know. Maybe she thought that night was the night she was going to. I don't know, because she had her daughter. So I don't understand why your friend should not be able to do what she wants to do with who she wants to do it with. As long as she's not trying to force it on you and throw it in your face or try to get you to talk to them, and like, as long as that's not happening, it shouldn't matter. Like, I don't really understand what the deal is, but she was mad about it. So fast forward to the next day. Drew is visiting Portia at her home. They are neighbors because she lives 8 minutes away, which I don't understand the neighbor thing. I feel like a neighbor is somebody that is like, you look out your house and you can see their house. Like, they are right there within that 1-2 doors down or right across the street. But they're neighbors. And Drew stops at Portia's house on the way home from getting some groceries. So they sit down and they begin to chat, and Ralph calls and she's just like, yeah, so I'm almost back with the groceries. Like, I guess he just wants her to hurry up and get home to be with the kids so he's not there by himself, which is understandable. Kids can be wild, but can she have 5 minutes? Dang. So they start chatting about relationships, and they talk about Ralph going to Tampa for 3 days and not saying where he was or what he was doing. Portia talks about Dennis and where their relationship is, and it's just, I care about Ralph and Drew's relationship, but I don't care about Portia and Dennis's relationship. I'm tired of Portia and Dennis's relationship, to be completely honest. But Drew and Ralph, I mean, I could see that getting old quick, but you know, it's newer, you know. I don't see Portia and Dennis making it for the long haul. I don't know. You know, I just know I'm tired of hearing about Portia and Dennis. I'm tired. So they're really getting into the conversation, and Ralph calls again. And she's like, all right, I got to go because he's ready for me to get back. And I'm like, ooh, girl, you can't even film without this man blowing you up. So we cut to a scene where everybody's spending time with their babies. Candy's playing a game with her 2 youngest children. Portia's brushing her teeth with her daughter. Cynthia's making final wedding plans with her mom and her sister and her daughter, to which her daughter points out her ashy foot. She just politely covers it up with her dress. So a couple minutes later, we have Kenya on her way to visit her lawyer because apparently he has some important information for her. So she talks about how she's filed the custody paperwork and, you know, what she wants to happen in regards to Brooklyn and her care. And, you know, the producers ask about the custody paperwork versus the divorce, and she says the custody issue is the immediate issue. The divorce is going to take quite a while to play out. So she's interested in getting custody of her child and get to a place where they can agree that she can do the different things that she wants to do with her own daughter without facing repercussions from her husband. So she gets into the lawyer's office, and and he asked her, like, you know, how's everything going with Mark and how have you been? And she's just, oh my gosh, I just don't know with Mark. Just the other night, like, he was sending me love songs and he made a playlist for me, and it was just all these love songs, and he said the songs were about me and how he doesn't want to lose what we have in the relationship. And I was just up crying because I just don't know where it's gonna be. I just want to get back to where we were, and it gives me hope about our future. She said he sent her love songs. He said, oh. I was just like, okay, she about to get some bad news. She didn't read the room. After that chuckle, I would have been like, what? And she's just going on and on about this. And the whole time, the lawyer is just like, he's like, oh, for real? Oh, okay. She finally finishes with all her things that Mark supposedly did. He's like, well, that's funny because he sent me this today. And she's like, well, what are you talking about? So she looks at the paper and she's like, he filed for divorce. You see what happens? Do you see what happens? This girl was so worried about who had the threesome with the stripper and who was doing what with who, and this person supposedly being your friend and all this, and the whole while your husband is manipulating you emotionally and soon to be, it looks like, financially, because not only did he file for divorce, he filed for alimony as well. Not filed, but he filed for divorce and he's asking for alimony. So I saw somebody said on Twitter, every time Kenya is doing the most on the show and cutting up and coming at people, Mark is right there in the cut waiting to hit her with something. And this is a perfect example of that. The whole episode, she's been worried about everybody else's business, and then she got blindsided by her own business. So you better believe Mark plays chess, not checkers, okay? So that wraps up my review on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 11. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at The Joys of Life YouTube, and also on Instagram at hey_Mrs. Gardner. Let me know what you think of the episode in the comments down below. Let me know if you have a differing opinion. I'm always all ears to hear something or hear other opposing views. So let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.